out. I can tell you already have questions for me, and I think I know what they are. So why don't we take a timeout and get them over with? Question. Shouldn't Lulu's mom and her dad stop her from trying to walk 3 dogs at once? Answer. Yes, they should, but they won't. Lulu is hard to stop. Question. What happened to Fleshman? Didn't you say he'd be hanging around a lot? Answer. I did, and he will be. Don't be in such a rush. Question. How come Mr. and Mrs. have all that junk piled up on their porch? Answer. Beats me. I've been wondering the exact same thing. Question. What is it Lulu wants to buy with all this money she's earning? Answer. I really don't feel like discussing that right now. Chapter 8. On Sunday night, before bedtime, Lulu carefully set the alarm clock for 6:25. She picked out the clothes she wanted to wear, so she wouldn't have to think about them in the morning. She tracked down her disappeared sneakers and carefully placed them next to her bed so she wouldn't have to go looking for them in the morning. She even, to save a few seconds, squeezed some toothpaste onto her toothbrush so she wouldn't have to squeeze toothpaste in the morning. She figured that she could be dressed, washed, and toothbrushed in 3 minutes and 15 seconds on Monday morning, which would leave her 45 seconds to eat some cold cereal and 1 whole minute to run to Brutus's house. Lulu was feeling extremely pleased with her plan, so after saying goodnight to her mom and her dad and her pet goldfish and the photo of Mr. B that hung on her wall, she sang herself to sleep with a money song. Danny, Donnie, Dustin, Dave, how much money will I save? Ava, Amy, and Annette, how much money will I get? Money, 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 money. Lulu expected to have some merry money dreams that night, but instead she dreamed all night about, guess who? Fleshman. He was standing outside her front door and shaking his head and saying over and over again, 3 dogs you're walking? Mistake. A big mistake. Chapter 9. Lulu woke up at 6:25, and for the first 5 minutes, her plan worked perfectly. Dressed and washed and toothbrushed in exactly 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Check. Ate a bowl of cereal in precisely 45 seconds. Check. Arrived at Brutus's house in 1 minute flat and rang the bell at 6:30 sharp. Check. And double check, and for good measure, check again. This girl was golden. Brutus was happy to see her, so happy he knocked her flat down on the rug, slobbered all over her face, and thumped his tail. Brutus's owner was proud. Is that cute or what? Lulu, who most definitely did not think it was cute, replied, It's what? And then she stood up, wiped off, attached the leash to Brutus's collar, and she was running a little bit late, was out the door heading to Pookie's house. She was trying to head to Pookie's house. Brutus was heading in a different direction. She pulled, he pulled, she pulled, he pulled, she pulled, he pulled harder, making Lulu bang into a tree, which gave her, along with a bump on her knee, an idea. Lulu began to wrap the long leash around the trunk of the tree, wrapping it so tightly around and around and around the trunk that Brutus, 2 houses down, couldn't pull her any more or go any farther. Dog and girl had stopped moving, and across the space between them, they were glaring at each other most ferociously. We're doing it my way, Brutus, Lulu announced in her bossiest voice. That won't happen, came the instant reply. But in case you were thinking that Brutus was speaking, you can think again. The voice Lulu heard belonged, big surprise, to Fleshman. Just the person she didn't want to see. You're just the person I didn't want to see, said Lulu. Dog biscuits, Fleshman mysteriously replied. Dog biscuits yourself, said Lulu, and went back to staring ferociously at Brutus. Girl and dog still standing still girl under a tree, holding on to one end of the leash, and dog 2 houses down, attached to the other end, in a situation grown-ups call an impasse. A complicated word that means neither one's going to do what the other one wants him to do. If you're wanting Brutus to walk with you nicely to Pookie's house, said Fleischman, you need a dog biscuit trail for him to follow. Since I'm thinking you don't have any dog biscuits in your pocket, we'll use mine. Fleischman walked over to Brutus and dropped a biscuit in front of his nose, which Brutus gladly and instantly gulped down. Then Fleischman turned around and walked back toward Lulu, dropping biscuit after biscuit on the ground, creating a tasty dog biscuit trail that Brutus eagerly followed, gulping down biscuits. Soon thereafter, Fleischman and Brutus were standing next to Lulu under the tree. And now, if you'll just unwind the leash from that tree trunk, Fleischman told Lulu, we can get going. Lulu, with Brutus on the leash, and Fleischman walking ahead of them, dropping biscuits, arrived without further fuss at Pookie's house. Lulu waited for Fleischman to leave. He didn't. Instead, he said, if you let me hold Brutus's leash while you go inside and pick up Pookie, we'll save some time. We're not saving time, said Lulu. I am saving time. So wait out here with Brutus if you want to, but I'm warning you, Fleischman, don't get any ideas. I'm not getting any ideas, said Fleischman. I'm just happy to help. Happy and pleased and proud and delighted and honored and quiet, Fleischman, said Lulu in a voice that could make a whole city quiet. And stop being so happy.